Form and Function by Maggie Gaddis. Biology can be a vast landscape of complicated words and abstract concepts if you let it. Don't let that happen to you. Instead, read every sentence, view every image and graph with a critical eye. If you let your mind rest on one image for a full 10 seconds, I guarantee you will think of at least 5 biological things to say about it. Once you get into the practice, you will understand that every concept from cellular and molecular biology to evolution and genetics relates to the central concept of form and function. Every biological form is the result of millennia of trial and error. If the form does not conform the functions required for survival in the environmental context presented, the biological form ceases to exist. Let's practice. And let's start with a macroscopic example so we'll be more comfortable with the idea of looking for definitions in the images we see in this course. Here is one of my favorite images. A plant common to the foothills and montane zones in Colorado. Mountain mahogany, genus Macroscopic in the family Rosaceae. You can visit the USDA plants database to look up any plants that are found in the United States. For Macroscopic, the flower stigma remains attached to the seed after dormancy. It curls into a corkscrew shape when dry. When wet, the stigma tail is straight. Like skiing skins, the hairs on the stigma lay in only one direction. Therefore, they resist movement in one direction and do not impede it in the other. The seed itself is extremely sharp and pointed on the opposing end. When traveling up the mountain, the ski skin slides uphill because the fibers are laying down in that direction, but the hairs stand up and catch on the snow, preventing you from sliding back downhill. Study this image for a whole 10 seconds, then write down your interpretation of the function conferred by this form. Send your response to our current discussion forum. Don't advance the presentation until you have completed this activity. I knew you would cheat, so I put this elevator slide in here just in case. Please enjoy the view while your party is reached. Before I begin my interpretation of this form and its function, realize that there are at least several reasonable scientific explanations for any biological phenomena. You will develop your own language to interpret form and function. In my language, why a corkscrew ski skin needle for a seed? Mountain mahogany is an important browse species in winter in the dry foothills and southern montane slopes in the Rocky Mountains. When you are hiking along dry trails between 7,000 and 9,000 feet in elevation, you may have wondered why these scraggly, messy-looking semi-hardwoods are. They look so scraggly because of all the browsing that severely prunes the plant. They also have inferior leaves that are very small compared to other broadleaf plants, and upon the heavily browsed branch, these leaves give the appearance of a more stressed plant. However, these small leaves are another adaptation we will discuss at some other time. Now on to the seed. This is a fine example of evolutionary perspective. It's truly a wonder. Since the plant stands little chance at increasing in above-ground biomass due to heavy browsing, it must seek other reproductive strategies, including strategic seed dispersal and germination techniques. When it is windy and rainy, the seeds with their corkscrew ski skin needles fall to the ground. They would be consumed by herbivores readily if they laid bare on the surface of the ground. Instead, when wet, the needle straightens, and as it falls from the branch, it falls like a dart, needle point first. The needle hairs eventually dry, and the length curls into a corkscrew. Since the stigma hair only lays in one direction, each wet-dry cycle is an opportunity to screw deeper into the ground, where it will remain safe from hungry animals. The moist soil helps to break down the recalcitrant seed coat, and when the conditions permit, the seed germinates. Form and function. And so, in a seed shell, that's mountain mahogany. A picture speaks 1,000 words. Here's a little video I made out in the field to summarize these concepts.
This plant right here is the mountain mahogany. And if you take a close look, what you're looking at is the seed actually. This is very interesting adaptation here. This is a very important food source, winter food source. Here's one seed. Now see that curly cute fuzzy thing? Essentially what that is it is a carp of the seed, and the hairs on it face in only one direction, and the seed has a very sharp point on the other end. So when this hits the ground, it hits the ground like a dart. And when this fuzzy tail is dry, it straightens out. And when it's wet, it straightens out. And as it dries, it starts to curl back up, which effectively drills this seed down into the ground. Now, not many seeds make it into the ground, actually. Usually when you see these mahoganies in the winter, they have no seeds on them at all, because this is a very important source of food for wildlife. But that is one of the most interesting adaptations I've seen, and this is one of my favorite plants.
Now let's look at an example on the other end of the size spectrum. Here is an image of a cell. First of all, what kind of cell is it? How do you know? Remember form and function. Take a look at 5, 6, 8, and 9. First, identify the organelles. Then ask yourself, why all the folding? What is the function of this folding form? Are these organelles independent of one another, or are they continuous in some way? What jobs are each responsible for? Does their job help you understand why they are deeply folded with a great surface area? Or does the shape tell you what the function is? Now take a look at 2, 4, 10, and 12. Circles. Take a moment to describe what physical and chemical properties must be maintained in order for a circle to exist in a liquid. Think about a drop of oil in a salad dressing that was just shaken. Even if you, quote, know nothing about this, how would you describe a salad dressing droplet? Now, one more picture. This time, you tell the story. What is this? Why will it coil? Why is this important? How many base pairs are there? Notice how the pattern from top to bottom down the middle is 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, and green, purple, red, blue, purple, green, blue, red. Why is this so? What does the form, i.e. those geometric shapes, have to do with the chemical function of those molecules? Why is it important that this molecule resides within a highly protected area inside of the cell? Let me know if you have questions.